Now that you have sewn your pockets on, reminder, you only need one pocket, but you could do up to 4. We now need to sew the front to the back of the outside and the front to the back of the inside. Number 1 key for this is you need to sew with the right sides touching, so your pocket should be on the inside sandwich here. You're going to line up this side. You have a nifty-difty notch that allows you to know exactly where to line that up. Make sure your corners line up, your edges line up. You give it a few good pins. I suggest about 3 down this side, 1 in each corner, 1 in the middle. And then the other side doesn't have a notch, but you can still line up the edges and it looks great. Remember, you're the boss. Make it line up. And then across the bottom as well. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to sew this edge and these 2 side edges. We're going to ignore this corner for now. And when you sew, you're going to be sewing at a 1/2 inch with back stitching. I've sewn around all 3 sides. I need to trim my threads and repeat the process for my lining. Okay, there we go. Sewn around all 3 sides of my lining, and if you're like me, you totally just forgot that we're supposed to leave from here to here open. So I'm going to go and I'm going to put a back stitch here and here, and then I'm just going to seam rip that open. Not too big of a deal. Okay, ironing your seams open, you can use the end of your ironing board, or if you're lucky, you can have a mini ironing board, and I'm just going to use the mini one because it's slightly easier. I'm going to press my seams open like so. Using my hot iron, I'm then going to give this a press and iron it open. I'm doing this both to the outside and the inside. What I did there is I just kind of burrowed in so I could get this half, and then I'm going to turn it and kind of burrow in so I can get this half. Okay, with the lining, it's going to be slightly easier because I only have a small bit on each corner that needs to be ironed. If you could iron through the middle, that's not a bad idea because you will hand sew that later, and if you have a nice crease, it tells you where to do that. Invisible slip stitch, but for right now, right in the corners where we are going to be sewing momentarily, it's a good idea to have it ironed flat and open. Now that I've ironed these open, we're going to do a very similar action to our little angry bird, where we're going to pull these two seams together in the corner so that they line up there and that our edge comes out straight. Make sure your seam allowances come out to each side, and we're going to sew this tiny bit of a corner. I'm going to put a pin on each side to make sure my seam allowances stay open. Repeat for all 4 corners. So what we're going to do now is we're going to sew straight across here at our 1/2 inch. Come out here in the fold far enough to make that 1/2 inch. Here's what it looks like. I'm going to line up my center with 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to make sure I sew as far back until I hit the edge of the fold here for my back stitch, and keep my center part right there on my 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to come all the way out here to the fold again and back stitch there. Like so. Now I've got the bottom of the bag. I need to trim all of my threads.